Yeah. Welcome back to Sip Life. It's your T.O. John, and today we are going to be reviewing a tequila. What kind of tequila? Wait a minute, not yet. I'll tell you in a minute. First and foremost, I want to say thanks for checking out my video. All right, without you guys, Sip Life would be nothing. So sit back, relax, grab a glass, pour a sip, and let's talk about tequila. So in this episode of Sip Life, we're going to be sipping on Casa Noble and Anejo tequila. For those of you who don't know Casa Noble, it's one of my favorite brands, especially the Blanco. The Blanco, oh my goodness, is great by itself, and it's great in a margarita. But today we're gonna go with the Anejo. And on Sip Life, I don't mix, I just sip. So the first thing I'm gonna do is pour me a sip. Once I pour me a sip, I'm gonna take a whiff of the tequila, let you know what the aroma is like, in my opinion. After I do that, I'm gonna taste it a little bit, let you know the flavors and what I pick up out of it. And then I'll describe what the flavors is really supposed to be about based on the production. All right. Now, before I start, let me go ahead and give you a little history, a little knowledge game, just in case you didn't know. If you already know it, then great. If you don't, now you know something new. So Anejo tequilas are a little bit different from your Blancos. Your Blancos are straight out and fresh. Your Reposados sit in a barrel for about 6 months to 8 months. And then your Anejos is anything after that. Now there's another category called extra Anejos. We're not going to talk about that. But just know that this is an Anejo, sat in a barrel for a little bit of time and picked up some extra flavors, some notes, which we will discuss in a little bit. First up, let me do the sniff. All right. So the agave flavors are still in there, so that's the good thing. So if you are if you're really into actually tasting the agave, but you want something that has a little bit sweet or a little bit of a modified agave note, then this is a good start to go with because of that. Now, from the smell, like I said, it smells kind of sweet, but you also can smell the enriched flavor of the agave kind of coming through the sweetness. The sweetness smells is I can kind of smell a little bit of the caramel and a little bit of a fruity note, but mainly the caramel is what comes to my senses. Maybe because I like caramel, I don't know, I can always pick that out first, but I smell caramel. All right, that's the smell. Now let's have a sip. Okay, so if you're not a huge tequila fan or you're new to the tequila category, when you get to this Anejo here, it's pretty good and it's fairly mild, but the agave flavors are still pretty strong. So if you're not accustomed to that, you might not like it you might not be a huge fan of it in the beginning. But if you appreciate the agave flavor, you can definitely taste it in the beginning as you let it kind of sit in your mouth for a second. As the flavor kind of dissolves and it kind of soaks in, then you start to pull out the flavors of the caramel. And I get a little bit of, hold on, what was that? And I get a little bit of a char type oaky flavor on the back end. That comes in on the back end. And then on the way down, it's a little bit of warm, a little bit of tart, a little bit of spice. Yeah. Now, that's kind of what I'm getting from it. Now, overall, I mean, it's still a good and fairly easy tequila to sip on. But again, if you're new to the game, this might not be for you. If you want to throw this in a cocktail, I think you could definitely do that, but the idea would be not to over flavor it with some type of sugary mixer. That way you can still enjoy the flavors of the agave and what it's been soaked in the barrel. That's my personal opinion. And it's because it's mid-price, it's not super expensive, you won't feel like you're wasting really good tequila as well. When you start getting up to the more expensive tequilas, especially ones that have been sitting in barrels, you don't really want to start mixing them because it's like a waste of your money. So next, let's talk about what the flavors are supposed to be like. So this particular Anejo from Casa was aged in French white oak barrels for about 24 months, 2 years. The aroma and flavors are a little mix of the dried fruit, butterscotch, vanilla, some spices, toasted oak, and of course, sweet agave. Based on my description, I said I kind of tasted caramel, but again, I'm a caramel fan. But based on what they describe is that vanilla and butterscotch, which might have been what I picked up as caramel. And then also mentioned the agave flavor is there. So, which is a good thing, again, because a lot of people don't like to go to the añejos because the agave flavor gets kind of cooked out and taken over by the barrel. This still has some of that flavor. So this añejo also has won several awards. One of the top most recent awards was the SIP Award, and that was in 2017. Casa does something a little bit different than a lot of brands. Most brands will distill their spirit 2 times. This Casa is distilled 3 times. So, take it for what it is. It's not going to make the tequila 10 times better, but it does add a little bit more clarity to the drink, to the beverage. And now we are officially done with the review. Your Uncle John has now sipped, talked about it, and told you what he thinks about it. Now, it's up to you to let me know your thoughts about it, or go out, get a bottle, and pour you a sip, and then let me know about it. So like always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out to sit with me and review this tequila. I wish you a great day, a great week, a great month, and as always, sip safe.